Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Taylor and today I'm going to be telling you my 2025 favorites. So this is the time of year where everyone is doing their favorites, so of course I'm gonna give you mine as well. This is going to be a mix of some of my favorite things of the year, favorite books, beauty, things I've crocheted, and then I'm also going to be talking about my favorite experiences from the year. So if that all sounds good to you, don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. I am posting a video every single day in the month of December, and let's hop in. So of the things that I'm mentioning, not everything I got in 2025, but it still stands that maybe I'm using this item a little bit more, and so it's kind of become a favorite in that right. So the first thing I'm actually going to talk to you about is my Kindle. I've had my Kindle for a long time now. This was a gift from one of my best friends for Christmas many years ago, and then she teamed up with one of my other really good friends to get me this Kindle case. I have since wanted to kind of distance myself from the IP that the case was originally kind of emulating in a way. It wasn't a licensed product, but either way, I don't want it to kind of show that, which is why I decided to put stickers all over it, which I also feel like is a way of making it my own as well. I have been reading my Kindle almost every single day this year. I love to check out books on the Libby app and then export them onto my Kindle. That is the way that I primarily use it. I don't buy a ton of Kindle books just because, you know, Amazon. But that doesn't mean that I never buy Kindle books. I really don't very often. I really have taken to using my Kindle more and more and more and really enjoying the e-reading experience, whereas in the past I didn't feel like I connected as much with e-reading, and so I'm really glad that this year I'm able to, you know, pick that up more. Next are my earbuds. These are Sony earbuds. I have no idea. I think they're like CN10s or something. Really tiny little guys. I liked that they didn't have like a hang down thing, because I did have a pair of AirPods that I had for many years, and when they finally kind of like shat the bed, I looked at the model and they were a 2019 model. I'm pretty sure I got them in 2020 though, and so these are what they look like on the inside. Just a little earbud, and then they go in like that. And I use these every single day. I did pay $130 for these, but the sound quality is heads and tails above what my AirPods were, and they don't cause any headaches, which is really nice. And the battery life is so much better than what I had with the AirPods as well. So I'm really happy that I purchased these. And then the next sort of thing that I want to talk about is my sewing machine. So I got my sewing machine during the Panini press in 2020, and I used it to make face masks. And then after that, I didn't really know what else to make. I wanted to make things, but then I got into jewelry making and crocheting and all this sort of stuff. But this year I have used my sewing machine a ton. I made this book sleeve. If you watched that video, I just recently mended a dress where the sleeves were too tight for my big strong arms. I also posted a video about that. I just finished quiet books for like the little people in my life for Christmas presents using my sewing machine, and she has been working overtime for me recently, and I love it, and I want to sew more into 2026. I would love to learn how to make my own clothing, or like sew my own clothing, but we are a long way from that. Baby steps, baby steps, baby steps. Some of my favorite books of the year I do have physically here. So the first one I'm going to talk to you about is Poverty by America by Matthew Desmond. If you've been watching my other favorites videos for this year, sorry, I gotta talk about it again. This is the best book. This is probably the best nonfiction I've read this year. This is essentially talking about how poverty is a systemic failing, not a moral failing. And Matthew Desmond dives so deep into why poverty is demonized. So yeah, this was definitely like the best nonfiction that I've read this year. Then I have Downtown Owl by Chuck Klosterman. This book was so good. We are following 3 characters in the fictional town of Owl, North Dakota, and it's considered, actually I'm gonna wait. I mean, it does explain the title to you within the first 30 pages, but it's so good. It explores why people stay in these small towns and what their lives look like and what the appeal is, why they like it. And it's so good. It's considered a dark comedy. I mostly just thought it was sad, but I'm sure that there are humorous elements that other people get that maybe I just missed out on. But this was, I knew I was going to love this book, and the fact that I love it, it even exceeded my expectations is crazy to me. Another book that I knew I was going to like but didn't realize I was going to love is Yellowface by R.F. Kuang. This book follows June Hayward as she steals a manuscript from her late best friend Athena Liu and publishes under her own name. And the book that she publishes is a Chinese like history story. Like it's a historical fiction in Chinese history, and people are like, hey, you white girl, why did you do that? And she's like, well, you don't understand, like I did a lot of research. So it explores racism, the publishing industry, who gets to be a bestseller, like what stories can you or can't you tell, racial or like ethnic ambiguity. It's so good. This book is so good. I love it so much. So this one was really good. And then in terms of romances, this one might come out of left field because I don't really talk about like gushing about romances all that often, but The Pumpkin Spice Cafe by Laurie Gilmore, and then also the Dream Harbor series. I will say I didn't like the second book, but The Christmas Tree Farm, that one's definitely my favorite of the 3 that I've read. But I don't have that book, I have this one. So this is following Jeannie and Logan. Jeannie is kind of running away from her big city life. She's like, I need something more simple. I don't want to just work until I die. I want to do something meaningful. So she takes over the cafe from her aunt. And Logan has been living in Dream Harbor his whole life. He's a farmer. He loves his community. And they just kind of fall in love. This is supposed to be sort of a Lorelai and Luke fanfic. I didn't see that as much as like a Gilmore Girls fan myself. I didn't see that as much because Logan definitely was like a big softy like teddy bear, and I don't feel like Luke is that way. And I do feel like Jeannie was like, her anxiety was not super representative of like the way Lorelai is, but I understood like the legs were there. The legs were there, and it was still a really fun time. So I think like if you have been thinking about this, check it out from your library or, you know, the Kindle. It's on Kindle Unlimited, so I would check them out in that way. I think that it was super fun. Next, my favorite album of the year was Man's Best Friend by Sabrina Carpenter. I loved that album so much. I need to get a physical like CD copy of it, maybe a vinyl that I could hang up. I don't know. I resonated with that album so much for someone who is in the healthiest relationship of my life. House Tour. Me and my boyfriend go hard to House Tour. We love that song. What else? Sugar Talking is super good. Nobody's Son. Like, I just felt so, I loved that album so much, and I'm really excited to take it into the new year with me. My favorite TV show was definitely Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. Those women make such good TV. They make such good TV. And I don't know, everyone was kind of like LARPing on season 3, saying like, oh, it wasn't very good. I thought it was great. My favorite clothes that I'm going to talk about, I actually just have pictures of. My first one I'm going to talk about is actually this white sweater that I have found myself wearing with everything recently. It's just a white sweater that I've had for, I don't even know how long, definitely many a years. And it's from American Eagle. I think my aunt gave it to me for Christmas once when I was in college, but I wear it with everything. It just seems to go with everything I own, and I always feel good when I wear it. I can wear like kind of a little bit off the shoulder with like a bralette or like a sports bra and like a skirt, jeans. It just goes with everything, and I've been wearing it all the time. And the next thing are actually these little snug Old Navy shirts that I bought. I got like 4 of them, and I love them so much. I wear them all the time. They make my waist look so small. They make my boobs look really big. And I just always feel really comfortable in them. They wash up really nicely. I like that I can wear them with jeans. I actually wore one with a skirt for Thanksgiving. I like that they are just kind of basics that I can wear for a long time, because I have a lot of t-shirts kind of like what you see here. Not so much the tie-dye, but just like a lot of logos, a lot of different things. And I just wanted something that was more blank. And I don't feel like I need to now go in pursuit of those in any other format. I have a few favorites for beauty. So the first thing I'll tell you about is the Valentino Born in Roma perfume. This is my favorite perfume of like all time. So my boyfriend actually got this for me when he went to Alaska. This was like the thing he brought home for me, and it made me so happy that he had like listened to me and knew that this was a perfume that I really liked. So the fragrance family is warm, floral, keynotes top, jasmine, sambac, middle is cashmere, and the base is bourbon vanilla. That makes sense. Yeah, and I feel like it's such a sophisticated scent. I love it so, so, so much, and I'm so happy to have a full bottle of this. The next thing is actually a foundation. This is the Infallible Pro Matte Foundation. I have the color 102 Shell Beige. And this is actually the foundation I wore for my friend's wedding. That was in July, and it worked perfectly. I will say it does get into like some of my smile lines here, so I'm not sure if I need maybe a different primer for something like that, but the staying power was great. I feel like it didn't transfer all over everything or everyone, and I feel like the shade match is also pretty good, because everyone tells me I have a little bit more of an olive undertone, and I do feel like this has more of that olive undertone. I was worried that it was going to be a little bit dark for the winter time, but it's actually really not so bad. So I love this. I'm not wearing it today though, because I wear that when I have like more day-long events. So like I have a lighter foundation that I'll wear if I'm just kind of at home filming. And then the last thing I have is the Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb Stick. So this is sort of a brown orangey sparkly. This is in the colorway one Fenty Glow. So they have like Fenty Glow no sparkles, and then they have Fenty Glow with sparkles, and I love this so much. I'm not wearing it today, but I've had to like actively hold myself back from using it, but I don't know why I do that. Do you do that? Because I feel stupid doing it. And then some of my favorite YouTube channels are Cold Ones with Max and Chad. My Chad and I just sit and we laugh and we take bets on how many times they're gonna do things that they've done in other videos. So like for a long time after like the yogurt effect premiered in a video, I'm like, okay, how many times are they gonna say yogurt effect? How many glasses are they gonna break? Like we have a lot of fun with that one. Papa Meat just makes us laugh. He is so funny. We also like watching his meaty magic videos as well, because Chad and I are like very casual magic players. Like we like to play. We're not super intense with it yet. I also really like Windigoon. I really like his game analyses, and I like his in-depth book summaries. That is actually what helped me get through reading Paradise Lost by John Milton. So I really, really liked that, and I'm definitely going to be using his video for the Divine Comedy as well. And then obviously I love Shauna Rapari. I love her under consumption, conscious consumerism content, and Jordaline Reads, because she is so, so, so funny, and I love all of her horror recommendations. And then I have two crochet favorites. So this first one is my sweater that I made to go to the Knox concert. This is a favorite because I like made it and then went and wore it to the concert. It was so much fun, and I love this sweater. I need more excuses to wear it. I feel like it is so cute. It looks so good on me. Everything about it I really, really like. So I don't know. I think the memory associated with it is so strong, which is probably why I like it so much. But so that one's a favorite. And then this one is also a favorite, even though I have not worn it yet. This is my letter sweater. It took me forever to make, oh my god, but I'm so glad that it's done, and I'm making a matching one for my boyfriend for Christmas, and I'm super excited about that we're gonna be matching. And then the last sort of section I want to talk to you guys about are some of my favorite experiences from the year. Going to the National Speech and Debate, like national tournament in Des Moines, Iowa in June was so much fun. It showed me, I got to watch students from all over the country performing their speeches and how much they loved it and how much they were dedicated to their craft. That was something that was so fun, and it was really nice to like hang out with my assistant coach, hang out with a few of her debaters who were competing, and they did really, really good. That was really fun. Coaching speech for the first time, so that's more like January through April. Obviously, just a highlight of my year was being able to work with those students and having such a fun time doing so. Chad and I went to Duluth in June, and that was super, super fun. We went shopping, we went and ate at really fun places, we stayed at a really cute Airbnb, and I think it was really nice to kind of get out for a weekend, just the two of us. It was the first time that we kind of traveled together, and it went amazing. Meeting my nephew, one of my best friends who was on the podcast with me about a week ago now, had her first baby, and it was so nice. It's been so nice getting to meet him as he grows and just gets so smiley and so cute, and I love him so much. Another one of my best friends got married this year in July, and that was such a fun day. Like, I don't think the day could have gone any better. I felt so beautiful, even though I was just, you know, in my bridesmaid's dress. It was such a fun day to share with friends and family. But one of my favorites of like me, this is kind of like the only solo thing I would say that's on here, was walking around Chicago. I had some extra time when I was in Chicago for work this year, and I was able to go to some of my favorite spots, including Exile in Bookville in Chicago, Illinois, and it was so much fun just being able to go check out the books there, buy a few, obviously. I think I got like a Dunkin' refresher, and I went and sat like right outside of the institute, the art institute or whatever that's there. And I remember just sitting and reading for a little bit, and it was so nice. I love Chicago. I love Chicago a lot. Next is Sioux Falls with Chad. I got to go to like all of my favorite places and eat all of my favorite foods on my birthday with my boyfriend, and we went and got cocktails, and I also got to see my cousin and his fiance, and that was so much fun. And it was so much fun to show Chad this place that I loved so much for such a big part of my young adult life, and tell him like all the stories about like me and my friends running amok in Sioux Falls. And then the last thing I have for like the experiences on here was going to North Carolina with Chad and his family for a wedding. And that was super, super fun, just being able to go a place that neither of us had gone before. We were in Asheville, and it was just so cute, so pretty, and the venue for the wedding was gorgeous. And we had such a fun time. Those are all of my 2025 favorites. Thank you so much for watching this video today. Don't forget to give it a like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Let me know what your favorite experience of 2025 has been, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!